That is the Aladdin Hotel and Casino as it rises from the ground on the Strip in Las Vegas. Always lots of activity and excitement in this city and in that spot. And there is excitement tonight inside the Theater for the Performing Arts, where sometimes it's Broadway, sometimes it's music. Tonight it's pugilism. And we have got a very, very interesting main event, and we hope you will enjoy it. I'm Al Bernstein along with James Smith. We're delighted that you're with us, and these are the gentlemen who will be fighting in our main event. Kevin Kelly, the former featherweight champion of the world, against young Humberto Soto, who brings 21 wins and 4 losses into this fight, a 9-fight winning streak, and a 22 hopes to upset Kevin Kelly's hopes of getting yet another shot at a world title.
Kevin Kelly, again, is even more loquacious than yours truly. He is the king of these sound bites, isn't he?
Boy, he is indeed. His are long sound bites. He's a very flamboyant and talkative, and as you say, loquacious man. This gentleman, Humberto Soto, a 22-year-old from Los Mochis, Mexico, who comes in here, as I said, with a 9-fight winning streak. His last fight, he was not performing as well as he would like. Marco Perez was kind of handling him, but Perez twisted his ankle in the 3rd round, and Soto got the win in that fight. However, he's got an impressive 10-round win over Mark Burst, who was a former alternate on the United States Olympic team. And so Humberto Soto brings some credentials into this fight, and he is a guy who, while he's facing a veteran, is himself a young veteran, if you want to put it that way.
And he's also been training with a real veteran in Manuel Medina, and that kind of training work will certainly help this young 22-year-old. He had about 60 amateur fights, so he also comes, from a good amateur background, does Soto.
Well, Kevin Kelly, the champion who you'll meet in just a moment, told us about how he thinks he'll know when it's time for him not to be a boxer anymore.
At 130, it's a new day. At 130, I feel different. I look different. Last fight, 2nd round knockout. People think it was just a joke. They watch this one. For 40 years out, my destiny is to be world champion. Holyfield and all these other great fighters and great champions they talk bad about, and they come back with world titles, and they astonish the crowd. We know when it's over. We're the professionals. We're the experts. That's why I commentate. That's why I talk about it, because we're the experts. I'm going to tell you right now, and all the viewers out there right now, that what you're about to see is going to be devastating. What you're about to see is going to be the beginning of a new era at 130 pounds.
So he wants to campaign, of course, a junior lightweight. This is for the NABA lightweight championship, but Kevin Kelly sees himself as a junior lightweight competing for major world titles. And up from the featherweight division, he's a 35-year-old, but he is never at a loss for words, as you saw and heard in that soundbite. He is the expert. After all, he's told us he is, so he must be.
Well, despite all of that confidence he exhibited, I still think, Al, that he's trying to convince even himself at this point that he can win another world championship. I did his loss to Benito Rodriguez a few years back. He's only had like 4 fights in the past, 3 years or so. So I still think and fighters go through that, as you know. They get to a point where they're still trying to convince not only the public and the boxing public, but themselves.
Absolutely, and I could go all the way back to a fight with Ricardo Rivera back in Chester, West Virginia, back in 1995, when he was in all kinds of trouble in that fight, and it was at a time when he had lost his title, and people were wondering whether he still had it, and so it's been a long and winding road for Kevin Kelly, but along the way, he's had some exciting fights. Wins over, even in recent years, wins over people like Jesus Salud, the exciting fight with Nassim Hamed, and he lost to Eric Morales, knocked out in 7 in the year 2000. Then came back, had a fight in April, his only fight in the last 19 months. Got that win against not awesome opposition. And now here he is. This is truly his coming out party now, because while Humberto Soto is not a world champion or maybe a top 5 or 6 contender, he's a very good fighter.
Also victories over Derek Gainer, a devastating come-from-behind knockout, a win over Louis Espinoza, a draw with Bones Adams, a victory over Goyo Vargas and Troy Dorsey. So in 12 title fights he's been involved in, Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, he is. He's fought some of the best in several weight divisions. And back in the early 90s when he was the featherweight champ, he was as exciting as they come and gave the smaller weight divisions quite a name. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape between these two fighters.
See how these guys match up. Well, obviously, Kevin Kelly, much the senior, 13 years older than Soto, 13 years of experience to go along with it. Same height, the weight's the same, and 4 inches in reach goes to Soto, but will he be able to utilize that against the very slick southpaw? Rules in this NABA lightweight title: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. The fighters cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and this bout, as all, will be scored on the 10-point must system.
So the stage is set for what we think is going to be a very interesting main event, and to tell us all about it is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Aladdin Resort Casino of Las Vegas, CSI Sports in association with Duva Boxing, Western Union, and Corona Extra La Cerveza Más Fina is proud to present Corona's World-Class Championship Boxing main event of the evening. 12 rounds for the vacant NABA Lightweight Championship. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission Chairman Dr. Luther Mack. The 3 judges assigned to ringside for this bout are Carol Castellano, CJ Ross, and Paul Smith. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Robert Bird. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Aladdin of Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trimmed with white and weighing 131 pounds. He comes to us from Los Mochis, Mexico, with a professional record consisting of 21 victories, including 9 knockouts, with 4 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Humberto Zorrita Soto. And his opponent across the ring, weighing in at 130 pounds and wearing navy trimmed with orange. His professional record, 51 victories, including 36 knockouts, with 5 defeats and 2 bouts even, and 2 world titles. Originally from Flushing, New York, but now living and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, the former 2-time world champion, the Flushing Flash, Kevin Kelly.
Okay, gentlemen, I gave you instructions in the dressing room. The only thing I'm going to tell you now, when I tell you to stop, that means stop whatever you're doing. When I tell you to break, give me a clean break. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. This is a championship fight. I expect a championship effort. Watch the Hogan.
So we're set to go in this NABA lightweight championship match, which Kevin Kelly, at the age of 35 now, trying to make a run at another world title and do it in the junior lightweight division, though this is for a stepping stone lightweight title. He believes his future is in the junior lightweight division as he comes up from featherweight. And as fighters get older, they tend to go up higher in weight. We'll see what Kevin Kelly has to offer here against Soto.
I look for him to get off to a quick start. He's been getting some great training, Kelly has, with Wayne McCulloch, the former bantamweight champion. They've sparred over 100 rounds in prepping Kelly for this fight. So that's great work in the gym. We'll see how it works out in this fight against Soto.
Soto moving to his left, always the right thing to do against a southpaw. So that's a good sign at the beginning for him. Phil Borgia is the trainer of Kevin Kelly. He's almost as active verbally in the corner as Kevin normally is before fights.
Soto a little tentative here early, respecting that power and that experience. Chops the right hand there. Needs to let his punches go.
One of the issues Kevin Kelly has had, especially in recent times in his career, is defense. He's been more hittable than he would like to be. Of course, that's against great fighters like Morales and Nassim Hamed, but even against Benito Rodriguez, as you point out, you said you did that fight. He's got some defensive liabilities these days. Even
some of his great, his great victory over Gainer, he was, behind and came back in their first fight to knock him out with one punch. He has tremendous power, heavy-handed for a featherweight, now up in the lightweight division where the guys are a little bit bigger.
He believes at 130 at junior lightweight will be the place he'll settle here in the next few fights if he can get a win here tonight. And a loss here tonight, by the way, for Kevin Kelly is just devastating. For Humberto Soto, it's not going to be the end of the world for this 22-year-old, but at 35 for Kevin Kelly, a loss here tonight would be a big blow.
Soto a little bit busy.